Hello there, my brother. So, dude, how do we embody spirituality? How do we do this, man? I'm going to explain this and I'm going to share my own experience because I feel I've discovered something quite unique and I'm going to be able to explain it to you in a way that you'll understand. So, man, let's begin. Spirituality, to embody it, is to understand that it involves becoming spirit. When you think about spirituality, man, you can actually really contemplate how the word spirituality contains the word spirit. And the more you do this work, the more you realize you actually become spirit. For most of your journey, man, you'll be very much in your head. You'll be trying to get closer to God, trying to get closer to yourself, but you won't really understand what this means. But then, as you grow on the path and as you start to effortlessly have more embodiment, have more consciousness, which, by the way, is not effortless. It takes a lot of effort, to be honest, lots of spiritual practice and purification. But when you do, you start to notice something. And what that is that you are embodying spirit. So to embody spirituality is to embody spirit. But how do you embody spirit? The way that you embody spirit is to soften yourself. It is a loosening of your ego and your grip on life. It is also a personal surrender to the divine. So for a long time, I thought I could get away with being me. And of course, man, you can be you. But when I say me, I mean me in the ego sense, in the very selfish sense. The simplest, most easiest way to understand it, your ego is just your sense of selfishness. Now, what you do with this selfishness is you surrender it. You surrender it to God. You soften yourself and you surrender your selfish energy. This is not easy. This is not what you want to do. It's very counterintuitive. You'll think, dude, I need that selfish energy because I need to make progress in life. Or I need that selfish energy because, dude, what would I even be? So what happens is you just try it. And the way you try it is by meditating more. It is by being kinder to people. It is by starting to realize that you're not running the show and it's just letting the universe come through you. But you've got to be able to be okay with that happening. If you try and control life, man, it's not going to work. You've got to be open to the universe. This selfishness that you feel, this is what's really key for us to pay attention to, because it will manifest as your ego. And what you can notice is your ego can be kind of more solid, more dense, more fixed, or it can be looser, it can be more relaxed. The more relaxed that you become, the more spirit flows into you. But if your ego is too dense and rigid, if you are full of that egoic energy and it's stagnant, maybe you're unaware of the energy and how it's become manifest within you, it's going to be really hard to allow spirit to come through you. So what do you do, man? Well, in my experience, man, two things. Number one, it is to actually just relax yourself. This goes back to softening. You become a softer person, but not in a way where you become meek or passive, but rather you just relax. You just relax into yourself. And I want you to notice, man, you'll actually resist this ultimate relaxation of yourself. You know why? Because there are so many layers within you that will prevent yourself from properly relaxing, because your ego is basically fighting this process. So the cure, what you have to do, man, is you have to place awareness on yourself. For example, one thing that always kept me in my ego was my masculine pride. And I don't know, man, it's something very deep. I'm trying to find the right language. It's like this masculine security, this masculine control. For me, it was one of the last proper layers to relax, because that's such a defense mechanism for me, man. Like in life, when I've been being myself, I've noticed that to remain safe as an ego, to remain strong and safe, I've had that bit of control at the end. That, and I'm just going to let it be out right now, man. It's not very nice, actually. It's just like it's like, fuck. It's this like deep masculine security, this deep masculine attempt for control, trying to remain in control. You can feel like you're in control when you're in your masculine ness and that energy. But actually, even this can be relaxed and softened. And you can actually be, you wouldn't believe this, man, but you're actually stronger than ever. Because spirit is actually so much more powerful than your masculine energy without the feminine integration and the full relaxation of yourself. Spirit itself, dude, it doesn't have anything to protect. It just is. It's the universe. When you're the universe, man, you don't have anything to defend, and therefore you can just flow. And flow is absolutely invincible. So this is kind of it, man. You want to start to use your own spiritual intelligence, which is really just to say your intuition, to piece together how, yes, no, you can let go. Even that part of yourself that you really want to hold on to, man, that keeps you safe. It's the real bedrock of your ego. It's that rock bottom security, don't F with me level. Like, dude, this is what I need. It's going to those parts and saying, hey, man, it's cool. We can relax. And when we relax, what happens? So you could say that spirituality is about uncovering, because you, what you really are, your essence is consciousness, is being, it's spirit. This is what you realize yourself to be, and this is what you actually become. So again, the embodiment work is when you actually feel it. So, I can feel it when I walk, or I can feel it when I talk. Or, you know what though, man, I'd also say this. This is really advanced. Really advanced. It's taken me a long time to become comfortable with this. I remember when I first started to feel spirit. I remember it was actually after a few acid trips, and I remember being with one of my friends who was very dense at the time. Not in a really bad way. I just noticed you're pretty dense at the moment. And I was like, whoa, dude, I'm like a child over here. I'm like I can feel my inner feminine, and I can feel I can be really soft and gentle. And I was like, wow, man, what an interesting, vulnerable place to be. Also, brother, what I've noticed to be really important is discipline. From my experience living life, the more disciplined I am, the more grounded I am. When I'm more grounded, I judge people less, I judge myself less. I can just be way more expressive, feminine, free, like a child. But if I'm not disciplined, I know how my mind is going to be. I know I'm going to be a lot more judgmental. So to be disciplined is absolutely crucial, also because spirit, it won't emerge, it won't rise, it won't come through you if you are not living properly. So I would say, man, that to embody spirituality, you must embody discipline. You could say discipline precedes spirit. And you know what, man? I've had real moments of realization, real moments where I realize this is how I want to live. I love how I feel when I feel spirit. Honestly, man, it's the time where I actually feel free and happy. And I'll be honest, man, as an ego as well, I notice myself sort of clasping at it sometimes, like trying to get it, but then it slips away. And only when I don't really need it or want it, obviously it comes in abundance. It's just how things work, man. So you learn it's not really yours. You get to experience it, and it is ultimately you, but you can't, with your ego, chase it. And dude, listen, I'll be honest, I still very much do this. But sometimes, man, I'm genuinely, authentically aligned, and so spirit comes through me. In fact, I would say that I've reached a decent point in my path, because I have people these days saying, hey, Seb, I really like your embodiment with this, or I like how you embody that. And so, yeah, man, I've got some feedback from the universe, and that's why I feel called to speak on this, because I, can observe myself and I can say, yeah, I do have some degree of embodiment, and that is an achievement. Okay, man, so we're going to begin to wrap this one up. The final thing I will say is embodiment is very sweet. It feels very, very good. It is worth it. One of the challenges that I personally face is forgetting how good it is, forgetting how good it feels. The way I remember, or try to remember, is I sit and I meditate. And as I do so, man, I just soak it in. I just feel spirit, being, consciousness. And I listen. I try my best, man, I really do. I try my best to listen to that voice that says, this is the way. This is how you can live life. The ultimate way to live life is through and as spirit.